All across America in the 1970s, something strange was happening. People were becoming eerily calm. Entire towns were becoming eerily calm. A new word even had to be coined to describe it: unrushed. People just weren't rushing around like they used to. They weren't angry, upset, or scared either. It was as if some switch inside them had been turned off. But how? Well, that's what this video is all about. Back in 1974, a covert US government agency launched a top-secret project called Orpheus. Officially, it was a study on emotional response to sound. Unofficially, it was a sinister plan to control human behavior. How? By beaming low-frequency radio waves at 3 small towns via modified radio towers. The idea was that these barely perceptible tones would eventually influence people's moods. And after weeks of testing, it seemed to work a little too well. Crime rates plummeted, protests stopped. Even local pets fell strangely silent. A local vet reported that dogs just stopped barking as if something silenced them from inside their bodies. Then, just as mysteriously as it began, it ended. The towns were shut down, the towers dismantled, and no official record of Project Orpheus exists today except for one black and white photo found in a locked cabinet in 2006. It shows a team of men in lab coats smiling proudly next to a giant speaker. The back of the photo reads simply tests 7 to 92% compliant. What does that mean? Well, we may never know. But other files recovered from the project's director suggest the answer. It turns out the signal frequency used in the tests matched brainwave patterns linked to obedience and relaxation. Furthermore, those exposed to the tone for weeks couldn't recall certain memories, specifically those related to the experiment itself. One woman even told the Washington Post she could hear a constant hum that felt like someone else thinking in our heads. But here's where things get really creepy, because similar frequencies have been detected in cities across the US ever since, especially right before major protests or moments of civil unrest that suddenly went quiet. Coincidence? Well, maybe, but it's also possible that Project Orpheus is still active, silently influencing us even now. Just listen closely. Do you hear it? That faint hum in the back of your mind. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to check out more content.